welcome here, right? I'm excited to be here today. Yep, all right. So, yesterday, our community, the intentional parent community, did 40,000 members. Whoops, something that we are really proud of. Thank you for joining us to build this community. We are grateful. We thank you. And then if you are also on our YouTube channel, catching up, thank you for also building that community. It's also one bosom place as well. Ruth Baba Uchinom. So I see you, all right? So if you're joining me for the very first time, this is the first time catching any live session, you can just write hashtag my first time, right? And please do tell me where you're watching me from. I'm streaming live from the capital city, FCT Abuja. Yes, that's where I am. And that's why I'm streaming live right now. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to do a brief introduction of myself because, hey, between the last time that we were here and now, we probably have had on our Facebook channel alone, we probably must have had over 5,000 new members. Whoops. So apparently, a lot of people do not know who I am. So my name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm a parent coach, and I'm also an author of best-selling parenting books, guidebooks, name it. Yes. And I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. The Intentional Parent Academy is poised to be that academy that helps you, right? Helps parents from one point to the other on their parenting journey on different things. Okay? So if you're just joining us for the very first time in this community, you're welcome. We're here every Tuesday, live, 2 p.m. We don't miss it. All right? Come rain, come sunshine, we are here. Right? Okay, so we deal on different matters of parenting, different issues, different angles, and we are, here dishing it as hot as it should be, right? So I said already that I'm streaming live from Abuja. And if you're wherever you are, please do tell me where you're watching me from. I like interactive sessions. It makes it, very awesome. Someone is asking what's on my t-shirt. It says parents be intentional, right? That's one of part of our branding. We do intentionality. That's what we are here for. Okay, so you are welcome here again. And if you've just joined our community, I just want to let you know that our community was named the most relevant parenting group all over Africa. So you're in the best group that you can think of when it comes to parenting. So you're welcome here, right? I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. I've already said that. We're going to go straight to the issue of the day. Okay? So today we're looking at how do you replace flogging, shaming, yelling with other effective disciplinary strategies? One thing is key on my journey. If you've been in TIP long enough, you will know that this particular conversation, I own it. We talk about it like, it's every day, right? We don't relent on it. All right, let me be sure that my network is okay on the yes, all right, on the Facebook group. Okay, so we're good. So we are constantly talking about how you can deal with, replace flogging, because unfortunately that's all we know. That's all we know. But I'm going to show you some things today that will blow your mind. All right. So if you've ever, read any of my works, you will understand that that everything, that I talk about revolves around how you can discipline your children effectively without actually having to, crush their spirit, without having to, bring them down, without having to do the things that, it turns out to be negative on the children instead of being positive. there is something, I shared something before this class, just this morning, about building children who are independent. Unfortunately, what I see every time is that we're more interested in controlling people than in building children who can actually raise, who can own their own in a society. So that's what we know. What we know is control. We were not taught to actually be able to build people. Parenting is about building people. Parenting is not about controlling people. The moment you can get this, then this is going to change a lot of your thought process on what you think parenting should be. If you understand that you are here to build others and not to control them, then you are going to understand a lot of the things that we are going to be saying today. So today we are looking at why you shouldn't be yelling, be flogging, be shaming. I know that a lot of people are going to come with the bandwagon of, oh, but the Bible said that we must flog children. The Bible never said so. We're going to get there. All right. So why are these methods in itself? Why are these methods and why is it that they don't produce results? I think that's the first thing that we need to look at. Why is it that they do not produce results? Yes, we have, done a lot of, conversations around, what we should be doing and all that, and how we should control people. Interviewing a girl of 27-year-old who was writing the interview, and the father called her out of the interview to come and look for something. And when she was asked, all she could say was, I just have to obey no matter what. It got me thinking, right? We're raising adults that we want to control. Is that really the purpose? This is the reason why control parenting does not give you the result that you should have, right? Control parenting builds your child. You are trying to build your child. You're trying to project. You're trying to project the things that your fears onto your children. That's what you do when you control. You're trying to project your fears onto your children. So when you actually do that, you will find it difficult building independent children. It's just there's no two ways about it, right? So you're going to constantly see yourself struggling to actually be able to build children. You will see yourself constantly trying to control because your fears, you're parenting with fears. We call it fear-based parenting. And I see a lot of fear-based parenting in the today. I give you a very vivid example. I see parents say things like, "Oh, so I had a friend who didn't want to, who doesn't know want to, he doesn't know how to swim," and then she was saying to me that, "Oh, my children are never going to learn to swim. After all, my friend died, when in a swimming pool." This is her fear. This is her journey. And she has used the journey to set limitations on her children without even knowing it. It was something that also happened to me. I had to actually deal with it. So I'm not talking from the point of perfection. I am talking from the point of intentionality. And if you're able to understand intentionality, then you will be open to open your mind to the things you're going to hear in this class. All right? So you need to understand some of these things and understand that control parenting is not the way to go, right? Because we are afraid of raising independent children. That's another thing. We are afraid of raising independent children. We think that when we raise independent children, we're not going to have control. I am Igbo. There's an Igbo adage, that tells you, oh no, the Iroko tree, the okra tree cannot grow older than the person who planted it. Like, you still want to have control at every point in time. If you understand the building process, then we are going to really be good. Why do you need to? Now, that's the point. What do you understand about yelling, beating, and all that? These are all controlling based kind of parenting. And that's why we are stuck with it. We're stuck with it because we are, we are fighting, right? We are fighting. We're fighting control. So at every point in time, when somebody comes to you to say, this is how you should do things better, you fight it even harder. Because you are thinking, number one, part of this is because I understand that this is not the method you know. I've also been there. So, like I said, I'm speaking from a place of experience, knowledge, and also my work process as a parent coach, working with parents. I've been there where I actually thought that the right way to do it was the way that I knew, until I actually got to a point where I needed to open my mind to learn these new things. Right? So all these methods, yelling, shaming, flogging, they are short-lived. Because they are controlling, they are short-lived. The last class when we were here, I said something. I said authority is not fear. All right? Authority is not fear and control. Authority is respect and trust. The moment you can define this in your head, then you will be able to understand, right? You'll be able to understand exactly why and how you need to do, your disciplinary strategies. So if you're still thinking that the fact that you can, your children can be afraid of you, the fact that you can, your children can look at you and you're controlling them, and that's what gives you authority, then there's something wrong with your parenting process, and you need to revisit it today. Because if your child cannot trust you, you have totally lost authority over that child. I remember having a conversation with a friend who does drug, coaching, and she was like, many of the children who are being controlled at home are actually the ones who get into drug, because that's not what authority is about. So authority is actually about respect and trust. If your child can't trust you to tell you anything today, trust me, you have lost authority. Your authority is gone. All right? So if you need to go back, go and check your authority base. Is it based on fear and control, or is it based on respect and trust? Right? Someone is asking if they can share the video. Yes, if you can. I think the video is streaming live on my timeline. You can share it. Share and share. Let parents be able to catch this conversation. These are relevant conversations we must have in the 21st century, and it's becoming it has become so important, right, that we actually have these conversations, so that we're not just sitting there and just making blanket assumptions about the things, how we should raise our children and what we should be doing per time. Let me tell you what these methods that I have listed do. Number one, hitting models hitting. I've said this over and again. Actually hit them. You are also modeling to them that if they get to a point where somebody who has authority over them hits them, then it's okay. Have you ever wondered why people die in marriages? I've done that analogy a lot of the times, and people are telling me, oh no human being should, there's no conversation on it. Right? Where we're all sitting back and saying, oh no, we need to really, it's only when we hit these children that they hear you. Are you raising animals? Are you raising animals? No, we are not. If you're raising a child, then you understand that the child is not for you to just be, it's only cows. Have you ever seen a sheep, a shepherd, using his rod to actually hit a sheep? Sheep don't get hit. Cows, they are the ones that you need to hit while you're going. So think about it in that way. That's what it does. It models hitting. And I hear a lot of parents say, oh, my children are very aggressive. Oh, my children are this. Oh, my children are that. Go and check back in your home. What kind of disciplinary strategy are you using? One of our biggest mantra in TIP is that parenting is about you and not your child. Parenting is about you and not your child. So when you understand this concept, then you will understand that you are the one that have the problem, not your child. If you think that the only way you can correct your child is by hitting them, by being verbally abusive, by emotionally, keeping them down, then you have a problem. And you need to deal with it. It's not the child's problem. Number two, right? Somebody's asking what other measures. We're going to share. We're getting there. Just stay here, right? We're getting there. Number two, hitting a child devalues a child. I have 10-year-olds. Before you look at me and say, oh, she's talking because she doesn't have experience. No, I have a 10-year-old. I have two 10-year-olds. And I also have a foster daughter that is an adult. If you need to hit a child to make a point, check it again. There's something wrong. The child self, so when you hitting actually devalues the child. When you hit a child, the child's self-esteem begins, with how he perceives others, right? Yes, I'm going to help with how to discipline without the rod. Yes, I'm going to say it, okay? And part of what I'm sharing is from my book, The Discipline That Works. So we're going to get there, and you are also going to have resources that will help you to actually be able to deal with it. So every time you hit a child, it breaks. A child will break a glass, you spank the child will feel bad. Even the guilt relieving, hug that parents, you say, oh, come after beating a child, you come and say the child should come. I need to hug you. People have said that when you hit a child and hug the child, it's okay for you to do that. Well, it doesn't remove the fact that the child has been devalued. Now, another thing that this even does is that he also devalues you, the parent. He also devalues you, the parent. Don't worry, I'm going to come to spare the rod for people who are going to bring out the mantra, spare the rod. We're going to get there. It's fine. Yeah. So hitting devalues you. If you're going to be sincere with yourself, the moment you finish wielding the cane, you will know that you haven't solved the problem, really. So why do we hit? And we need to keep hitting the children. It means that we need to stop this. Is it really, think about it. Does it really modify the misbehavior? So a lot of the times you look at yourself, it means that you're forcing, all right? You're forcing this authority. You're forced, the moment you find yourself struggling to control, in quotes, then there's a problem with it. You can control a child. Trust me. You can have a moment or a level of authority over a child that doesn't need you to actually devalue yourself or to devalue the child. Another thing that happens is that hitting may actually lead to abuse. A lot of the times people say, oh no, it's not abuse. It can. It escalates. When parents tell me, I need to beat a child in love, I get it. The reason why you want to discipline your child is because you love your child. No doubt. But trust me, there are better ways. There are better ways to make your child understand the same thing. So when you say, I really need to hit a child, it's fine. And I want to hit the child in love. It's okay. But at what point do you know when to stop? I keep saying it. The anger emotion, our control, I have a medical background, and I know our control on the anger emotion is actually not, it's not steady. It's not steady. You can't. Thank you for the sincerity. Many times when you hit a child, you actually feel terrible. It's not steady. So a lot of the times, these anger emotions will lose you. The moment you begin to hit that child, it will lose you. The anger emotion loses you. I remember a parent reaching out to me to tell me, wow, ma, you keep talking about not hitting. So this is not about right or wrong. This is actually about what you are able to do. and control at some point. And she said to me, today I used a hot pan to throw at my 14-year-old son. And she said, I have decided today that I'm not going to hit my children again. Tell me what to do. In fact, she said at that point that if they had told her in her dream that she can lay her hands on a hot pot, and then throw it on a child, that she would say is a lie. You really can't hit another one without an atom of anger in you. There's no this thing about it. You need a level of anger. It's science. I didn't say it. It is science. You need a level of anger. You need a level for you to be able to raise your hand and hit someone. So it doesn't come automatically. No, you can't tell me, oh, I need to be calm. You can't be calm and hit anybody. You cannot be calm and you're able to hit anyone. So no matter how much you want to preach the calmness and hitting calmness and hitting love, there's always a thin line between discipline and abuse. And if you're not very careful, you will pass that thin line without even knowing. So hitting can actually lead to abuse. When people talk to me, about it, I'll tell them that the truth is that when you think about it properly, you will know that this is true. Then another point is that hitting does not improve behavior. It doesn't. So many times we hear parents say the more we spank, the more the children actually misbehave. This is very true. It makes the behavior worse. It doesn't make it better. I'm not just talking from my own personal experience of being a parent. I'm talking from the experience of coaching thousands of parents on this journey. If you want to be really sincere watching me to yourself today, you will agree with me that when you hit, it doesn't really improve the behavior. Many times what happens is that children run away. They hide those things from you, which is why how many of us were hit growing up and didn't do the things that they said we should not do? We still ended up doing them. Does it mean that it didn't teach you? We left the most important thing and we're chasing shadow. We're chasing shadow. The shadow of control. Today, if you haven't heard anything, remove control from the equation and replace it with building. Replace it with building. So when you are doing all this, hitting does not improve any misbehavior, right? It can actually get it worse. Yes, it can make the child pretty hardened. Yes. And then let's get to the point. Let's get to that point of what the Bible says, spare the rod. What exactly does the rod mean to you? I've raised my children. My children's proprietress is probably watching me today. So the school followed me, the proprietress, everybody. If whatever it is that is done, or the children are being raised and they are unruly, or they are misbehave, or they misbehave, do you think whatever I will say will hold water? No. You don't have to hit a child for you to get a child to behave properly. What does the rod mean to you? You need to think about it. Whatever you call the rod is what the rod is. The Bible says the rod of correction imparts wisdom. The rod of correction imparts wisdom. Whatever you're doing that is that rod, is it impacting wisdom to the child? It's a simple analogy. So I'm not going to come here to come and argue with, the Bible says rod. Oh, rod does not mean rod. What do you know? What have you seen the rod is? Remember, the rod is the same thing that the shepherd, right? That the shepherd uses to actually take the sheep from one place to another. Do you find the shepherd hitting the sheep? The truth is, we need to actually understand a lot of the times that these are some of the things that will, they are not, they're not, it's just, some of scriptures that are misinterpreted. Some of the things are the characteristics of spanking children. If you lose control of yourself easily, if you were abused as a child, if you're spanking more with fewer results, every time you're beating, yeah, there's nothing changing. If your spanking is not working, if you need, if your child is strong-willed, if your child is ultra-sensitive, if your relationship with your child is not working, then you need other solutions to make this work. You need other solutions to make this work. Another thing you must know, time will not permit me to read all the other things that happens, all right, when you actually hit children. There are so many of them. It has its own long-term effect, and there are so many things that happen. Now, I want to tell you that you can do this without having to actually use these abusive methods. You can help the child. You can parent your child, discipline your child appropriately without having to hit them. I'm here. My mom is watching me right here. I can see her. Hi, mom. And my mom is here. She never laid a finger on me. Did it make me useless? No. So stop thinking and stop believing that if they don't hit a child is going to become useless. That's on its own. On its own, it's something that you need to squash. No, it's a wrong analogy, right? So one of the things that you need to understand, like I said earlier, is that what the rod means to you is what it will be to you. What are these effective methods? A lot of people have been trolling me, right? What are these effective methods for your children? People are asking, but you can bring in your questions as we are going. What are these effective methods? People are already asking. We're going to share now. Just give the moment, right? We have listed other effective method is, that can help you. And these methods are very key. Sorry, let me be sure that we are still on Facebook. And these methods are all encompassing. Now, there are a lot of things that you need to note. You can't discipline your children all at the same time, the same way. I'll tell you why. The reason is simple. Your children are not the same. The children are not the same, right? Their learning style, and understand who you are raising before you can actually get to a point to say, okay, this is the kind of child and this is the kind of discipline that is needed. So sorry, someone says the Facebook is freezing. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why that is, but I'm hoping that is going to get corrected, right? Because the same network that was streaming on. Okay, so let's pray that we get that sorted. All right, so you if you do not understand who you're raising, you're going to be running around in circles. You're going to be running around in circles if you don't understand who you're raising. So this thing of who you're raising is as important as anything that you're doing. Do you know your child's temperament? Unfortunately, this class is not for that. Do you know your child's learning style? Do you know the kind of child you are? Do you even know who you are? Because who you are is going to impact on who the kind of child and how you're raising your child as well. So, we're looking at the different effective disciplinary methods. I'm going to share with you the 10 different disciplinary methods that we shared on my book, The Discipline That Works. So you can get a copy to, get into depth of that conversation, right? Of the discipline that works. So the number one thing that you want to learn is that there are different kind of discipline, and you will need to even understand, first of all, what discipline works. So the first thing I need you to note is that good intentions don't automatically become reality. Good intentions, sorry, I need to do some work. All right. So sorry, we're trying to ensure that our network on the group, it's okay, and that we're good. Okay, I think we're good now. All right. Okay, so if you can still hear me, just still tell me that I'm still here so that I can continue with the class. Just tell me I can still hear you. All right. So the most important thing that you need to note is that every child, good intentions don't automatically become reality. Because if your good intentions does not translate, right, to results, people will not judge you by your good intentions. People will judge you by the consequences of your good intentions, right? Unfortunately, what I have seen happen, over the time is that, so sorry. What we've seen happen over the time is that we are trying to raise, okay, awesome. All right. Okay, awesome. I can hear you. Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Okay, thank you for that. All right. So one of the things that we all need to note is that good intentions does not automatically become our reality. We only need to work on our, we only need to understand that we are going to be judged with the consequences of this good intention. Many times, parents do not discipline their children with the intentions to, have any negative impact on them. No. So I agree with you. I agree with you that all these were done with good intentions. Okay? All these were done with good intentions. But a lot of the times, we need to understand that that is not all that matters. One of the ways that you can use, instead of all these methods, flogging, shaming, yelling, is to use verbal correction. Now, this is where the snag is. Many times I've heard parents say things like, but verbal correction doesn't work. It is because we don't even know how to use verbal correction. There are 10 steps to verbal correction. What we call verbal correction is just lynching, with too many things, saying too many things and all that, telling the child, shaming the child, saying all sorts of things. That's not verbal correction. I think we've had a class. If you search our Tuesday classes, training for parents on YouTube, or you search our announcements on Facebook, you're going to see where we share the 10 steps of verbal correction. Time will not permit me to do that. For verbal correction works like magic if you are actually doing it right. Number 2, emotions coaching. One of the reasons why your child is misbehaving is because they cannot control their emotions. They cannot control their emotions, because if you have a child who understands how to control their emotions, then you're going to have a child you have less to deal with. So if you understand the concept of emotions coaching, then you will understand how, you will be able to raise a child that you have minimal misbehaviors from. Because what makes you want to actually hit a child? Many times, let me even say this, it's interesting to note that many times we are beating children for things that they can't control. We beat children for bedwetting. Do you know that no child can actually control it? Not even you're taking them out 1,000,000 times can control it. So if you're hitting a child for bedwetting, what are you doing? Are you controlling the misbehavior? No, you're not. No, you're not. What you're simply doing is just I don't know. You're even causing more harm than good. So I'm going to do a class. I've looked at I think our timetable will have somewhere about bedwetting, where we're going to be sharing on issues of bedwetting and how to deal with it, instead of just coming to come and beat a child who is bedwetting. We beat children for not knowing how to write. That's not a cogent reason to beat anyone. So when you think about the things that we beat children for, you will understand that they are actually not the things that you should, in quotes, be beaten for. So if you understand emotions coaching, but unfortunately, a lot of us do not know how to, coach themselves emotionally. Oh my. Okay, please. I can see lots of people still saying they can't hear me. Network is bad. They can't hear me. I don't know where that. Okay. All right. Okay. Some people can hear me. Some people can't hear me. Oh dear. I don't know what else that we're going to do, because we even switched. Don't mind me. The third world internet is dealing with us. Yeah. All right. So, but let me go on. I think a few people can still hear what I'm saying. So we're talking about emotions coaching. If your child becomes emotionally intelligent, if your child can, control their emotions, they will misbehave, less often. All right. Thank you, Calvin. They will misbehave less often. Misbehaviors are the reasons why we are constantly trying to hit children. That's why. That's the major, problem. So the problem, one of the biggest challenges that we have is that the children can't control their emotions because we do not know how to control our own emotions. If you learn how to control your emotions and you're able to teach your child how to actually, how to actually deal with this, then your point is to get a child to do the things in. Another thing that you can do is setting boundaries. A lot of the times I have seen parents assume. Now, let me give you a very vivid example. Last month, we launched a guide called creating how to create your media plan in your home. One of the reasons why we launched that guide was because there were several children getting into pornography. There were no boundaries created. And a lot of the times when parents come to me, what they say is, I have been beating the child. I beat the child when I caught him into pornography the first time. I beat the child the second time. I've been beating the child. And you're just beating the child for things that you have done wrong. If you're not able to set boundaries, then you're going to continue to get frustrated. Children function well with structures. Structures. You need to create a structure in your home for your children to fit in. So stop telling me, oh, we actually hit children for our own carelessness. Yes, we do. Because a lot of the times, a parent reached out to me. The son, he beat the son to the point that he gave this guy scars on the face. What did the boy do? He stammers. Tell me why a child deserves to be hit because he stammers. Tell me why a child deserves to be hit because he bedwets, even if they are 20. Tell me why anyone deserves to be hit because they can't read or because they can't write. Your reasons for hitting a child is usually null and void. You can do with that. We can actually deal with that. We also hit children because of our own ego. Our ego. I want to show that I'm doing it right. I want to show that I'm doing it right. Have you ever been outside where, something is happening and then a child makes a mistake? Parents are looking at you like, you need to do this. You need to do this now. Discipline is not a public thing. That you need to discipline your child, you have to do it in public. No. So bringing a cane and lashing your child out in public for you to claim that you are the perfect parent, that's not it in any way. You are actually someone who is reading by their ego. It's as simple as that. So we hit children because of our ego. Because of our ego. That's one of the reasons why we hit children. So if you can set boundaries, that's another method. Another method is what we call silence and deliberate modeling, right? Silence and deliberate programming. Silence and deliberate programming is one of the ways to also discipline your children without having to jump all around. Like I said earlier, I have children myself. These methods are not easy. I'm not teaching you a walk in the park kind of thing. If you're ready to do the job, see, yelling, hitting, shaming is for lazy parents. Quote me. It's for people who are lazy. Lazy. It's because you do not want to learn. Because it's more difficult. It's more difficult to actually discipline with these methods that I'm teaching you than to discipline with the method of hitting. Hitting is easy now. If somebody does something to you, all you need to do is just to give backhand slap. And that solves all the problem. So we ride on so many things, and we think that what we're doing is actually the right thing. Laziness takes us to the point where we have refused to learn other methods that can help us and help our children. A lot of work. It means that you are going to be silent and model and program your child. See, parenting is about programming. Forget this shouting that you're jumping up and down. It is about programming. Your children are going to be programmed by the things that you put in. It's not by your shouts. The question you need to ask yourself, when my child is being in a place where they need to do something that needs them to think, what do they remember? The beating that you beat them, or the process of the things that you say? Your words will speak louder. Do you not till today, and I'm sure every single one of us watching me here who is a parent also will agree with me, that many times when you sit back, the words you don't remember when you were beating, in the positive, like, you taught me, yeah, people will say, oh, they beat me and I changed my mind. Did they really teach you the thing to do? There are some words that I still hear my father echo in my head. You need to speak more words to your children than you're jumping up and down. So it's laziness. Discipline with all these, controlling method, it's actually a very, 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 very lazy method. So if you're not lazy, if you're ready, if you're ready to do this work, believe you me, you are going to understand exactly what I'm saying. It is tough. You think that it's not tough to stand and see, children doing things that you know that you cannot just come and bully the person. It's tough. It's tough to put your emotions under control. It's tough. It's tough to be able to teach your children what is required per time. It is tough. It's tough to teach even your children when they make mistakes, glaring mistakes. Glaring mistakes. It is tough. Let me also, I saw a quote recently. Children who are abused by their parents don't hate their parents. They hate themselves. It was a food for thought. It was a food for thought. They become less of themselves. All right? Another thing that you can use is consequences. The consequences of when you build structures and have consequences in your home, you won't be struggling. I sincerely tell you, these methods I've practiced for years, and when parents say some things, I have lost touch of those kind of issues in my own home. Because I have deliberately over the years taught my children this skills, and also told them that life is about consequences. That's what life is about. You think they understand that whatever I do is not about me, their parents. There is a consequence for them. And it has also helped them in decision making outside of the home. The twins are 10 and they are so independent, madly so, because I took the route of teaching skills than the route of just jumping and trying to acclaim myself a perfect parent of the beating industry. Come on. Nobody really cares, whatever it is that is happening in your home, I agree. But the truth of the matter is that it's going to speak volume on your child eventually. Another thing that you can use is storytelling. There are a lot of times where you do storytelling to a child, right? The child sits back and the child is able to review. Storytelling is a powerful tool. Time will not permit me to give you step-by-step, method how you can actually, do this. All right. So another thing is teaching skills. A lot of parents say, I don't know how to teach. I said it at the beginning of my journey. I don't know how to teach. If you're a parent, you don't know how to teach, you are dead. You're dead. You must go and acquire teaching skills. Because the first point of call is your ability to teach. Your ability to teach. If you cannot teach, then you're going to be lost on this journey. Because you're a teacher. You're first a teacher as a parent. That's who you are. That's who you are. In fact, I had to go and take a course on teaching. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Learn it. Learn it. So you need to sit down and learn what are the methods of teaching. Your children are not getting it because they do not understand you. They do not understand you. That's the reason why they don't understand. You're teaching, you're telling them, I've been telling you, they don't understand what you have been saying because you're not teaching it with the right skills. So go back and look at the skills you're using. So you come up, you are assuming. Assumption parenting is one of the most deadliest things that you can use on this journey, where you assume everything. You are assuming that the child should know. Parents just wake up. I was sharing, the other day, and I was talking about 13 skills every parent every child should learn before they turn 13. And you can touch on that reply. We also share the guide, right? We should share the guide on how you can teach these skills. You can get that guide. You can just, ask for the guide, and then you get a copy. In that class, I was talking about how we actually assume that children should just know these things. You see a parent who the children just turned 13. They will say, at 13, you should know how to cook. You should know how to do this. How? It's going to fly on the child. Did you put in methodology? Did you put in systems that can help this child learn? Another thing is role modeling. Role modeling is a powerful tool. If you have a child and you are not role modeling a lot of these things, you're going to struggle. You tell your child, you beat your child throws angry tantrum, and you are, looking at some of the things that a child had done, right? And you're now saying, oh, why are you throwing tantrum? There are some things that you do that you're throwing tantrum. I see a lot of parents throw tantrums. Many parents throw tantrums. Things happen to you. Instead of you to sit back and look for solutions, you are throwing tantrum. And tomorrow, what you tell yourself is, can I just, it's not me. Meanwhile, you can't control your emotions and you want your child to control their emotions. That's being hypocritical. That's being hypocritical. That's what you're doing. And you're telling yourself, stop crying, stop expressing your anger that way. How do you express yours? What do you do when things go wrong? You flare up, beat the child, get angry, call them names, and you expect that the child is going to do it differently? No way. Your child is going to do it the way they say. Even when your child don't do things the way they say, let me tell you what happens. What happens is that when they grow up, it will reflect. Haven't you noticed that you grew up and you say, I don't want to do this, that, and then you now grow up somewhere and you find yourself doing the same things that your parents did. You will be trying to drop lack of control of emotions. And yet, we are shouting on children for doing the same thing and saying that they are wrong. Wow, you are in for a different thing altogether. So, that's another way. Then, teachable moments. The problem is, do we even know when these moments come up? Do we know when these moments come up? There are teachable moments. Are you utilizing them? Instead of trying to jump up and down, why not calm? Be calm to go through the process of exactly what it is that you're doing. Unfortunately, we are hitting people and raising people who are not skillful. The same parent who is hitting a child is the same parent who cannot allow their 15-year-old to actually go anywhere. Are you guys kidding me? You guys are raising children who think that the world is full of is a bowl of sweet potatoes. And you're telling me that you're beating. I see a lot of parents, all you do is beat your child. No skill, nothing. And you want your child to survive in this vicious world? You want your child to survive here? No, now your child can't. So all you're teaching your child is just, if you do not identify the times where you need to teach, then you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. You need to train your children and stop assuming. You need to teach them skills to make a difference. Convert times to teachable moments. Stop lecturing. Stop behaving like one lion in the tribe of Judah. Now, I sit here, you sit here, I tell you what it is that you should do. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. All right? So you need to be able to do this. There are 5 different types of discipline, and you must be able to understand the different types of discipline to be able to discipline effectively. Positive discipline, gentle discipline, behavior modification, and emotions coaching. We wrote about this extensively in my book, The Discipline That Works. So you might want to get a copy to be able to. It costs 3,000 naira. You can get it anywhere you are in Nigeria. It's also on Amazon on Kindle. You can get a copy. Now, how do I determine the best way to discipline a child? Now, that's the question. How do I determine the best way to discipline a child? We must have a discipline strategy. I keep talking about structures, plans. I saw my father have a plan on his journey, and I know what some of these plans did for me. I shared today on, sharing that part of my father's parenting plan was at 25, no child of his was going to live in his house. And he put structures to get it there. All right? So the question you want to ask is, how do I determine the best way to discipline a child? Number 1 is that you must have a discipline strategy. Part of what we've done, we know, that we've put in the book. I put in a lot of work working on the book. And let me also share something, very funny that I shared in my book, The Discipline That Works. I shared on how Africans actually started to hit children. If you go and read history, we were not hitting children. So my grandfather told me that children were not being beaten. You can't beat a child because a child was considered a god. So when a child is born, it was considered that a god was born. So Africans didn't really understand the concept of hitting a child. Colonization taught us. So for those of us who are jumping and saying, no, we must hit a child to train a child that is well behaved, that's not true. That is not true. All right? You must create a strategy. So when we did that book, that book has sold over 2,000. It was just launched the last month in last year. It sold thousands of copies. But one of the things that we started to do recently is to build courses that will help parents and also build guides that will help parents. So part of what we've done is to create a guide that will help you to build the disciplinary strategy. So because I get a lot of questions. So how do we do this? What do we do? So we're putting up that guide out now. if you're able to pay 1,000 naira for the guide will cost 1,000 naira in 24 hours. After that, that guide is going to be removed from that promo and be put where our other guides are. Currently, we have 5 guides on different issues of parenting. So today we are launching the Disciplinary Strategy Guide. So the Disciplinary Strategy Guide will teach you and show you what you need to consider for each child and how you need to do it. So all you need to do is to make payments in 24 hours. It will cost you 1,000 naira. After 24 hours, it costs you 2,000 naira. So the choice is yours. You can get a copy, right, of this guide. Part of what we're doing with the guide is to break a session of the book, The Discipline That Works, into something that you can easily, work with. That's what we're doing with, all the guides that we are launching. So if you want a copy of the guide, you can just say, I want the guide. And you're going to get the link, going to get the account number to be able to get the guide. The guide will cost you 1,000 naira in 24 hours. Then we also have a course called The Discipline That Works. We decided to make it open again. Now, all our courses are hosted on www.theintentionalparentacademy.com. Our academy runs online. You are able to run courses at your pace. The Discipline That Works course will help you break down all these things that I've said and also help you put a lot of things into structure. So this course is usually this cost is 15,500. We're opening it up for 10,000 naira. So if you want to learn what it takes to actually be able to move from the discipline that you have and begin to move to the discipline that it is that we are saying, talking to you about today, then you want to enroll. So you can get the guide. The guide is only 1,000 naira in 24 hours. You get your copy in your email right on Friday. So what you do is you make payment. Tobe has already shared that payment link. All right, Tobe, please, you need to help us share that also in the Facebook group, because there are comments right there, right in the Facebook group, so that they can get all the guides. All right, so the Discipline That Works course will walk you through all these styles that I have talked about and break it down for you in a way that you can deal with it, in a way that you can use it in your home. I'm not teaching you strategies that are just in the book. I'm teaching you practical things, right? The course will also help you practically to be able to, deal with all these strategies, deal with what it is that you need, what you need to remove, what you need to replace. I am not a proponent of telling people stop flogging without giving them alternatives. I want you to learn alternatives. And what we have done with that, course is to break down all these alternatives in a way that you can understand them and begin to implement them. What we are doing with the guide is to teach you how to create a disciplinary strategy for your home. You need it. Like I said earlier, you cannot discipline your children the same way. There is a strategy. I have a set of twins, a boy and a girl. I don't discipline them the same way. If I do, I'm going to fail. So yes, I agree with parents that say there's no, one size fits all. You cannot discipline. Oh yes, but what you need to do is to have these tools. When you have these tools, you will understand who the child is, and then you are able to bring them all in. That's what this guide is going to do for you. So if you want the guide, the guide is just going to show you how, like every other guide that we have. Right now we have the media guide, all right? We have thank you so much, Tope. Tope has just shared the account number and the details where you can send, for the guide. So we currently have 5 guides we currently have 5 guides in the Intentional Parent Academy, right? And all of these guides, every single one of them teaches you on different issues. For instance, we have the media guide. The media guide teaches you how to put and set up the media system in your home to avoid, my child stumbled on pornography. I don't know what to do. That's what the media guide does for you. The family value guide helps you build a system in your home. We say that family should be business, and that's one of the things that has helped every single one of the parents that I have in our inner circle. We have about 100 parents in our inner circle, and we're leading them every way to use these guides to be able to create the system that works, and it's amazing. You don't want to see the testimonials that come out of that inner circle, right? So if you are committed to this, I bet you, with everything I believe in, you're committed to this, you're ready to put in work, you will see results. You will see absolute results. So for the course, instead of 15,500 early bird offer between now and Sunday, you get to pay 10,500. The course will start Friday next week. That's the date of 25th. That's when the course starts. So the guide is, if you're paying for the course, you just make payments and then send details. I will send you link for you to have access to the course. You're not going to have me, do this thing. There are video courses. All our courses on the academy are video courses. You can check out the academy online, verified. You can check it out. www.theintentionalparentsacademy, and you will be able to see every details that you need on that course, right? So you want the guide, just chat, I want the guide, and you will get details on how you can get the guide. Only in 24 hours, you are only getting the guide for 1,000 naira. After 24 hours, yes, if you want all the guides, in 24 hours, you pay 6K. There are 6 guides now. If you want all the guides, you will pay 6,000 naira instead of paying 1,500 for each. So if you're paying 6,000 naira in 24 hours, you get all the guides. But if you pay afterwards, then what it means is that you're going to be paying about 10,000 naira or so. So you pay 6,000 naira, get all the guides that we have currently in the academy. If you want to get only the one that we launched today, it's just 1,000 naira. Friday, you have the guides right in your email. Please, when you pay, send a chat with that number, with your payment verification, and also with your email address. Please do not forget, so that you will, as you're waking up on Friday morning, you're going to see your guide. Yes, someone wants to know the names of all the guides. We have the media plan guide. We have the value guide, the family value guide. We have the family meeting guide, right? We put up all the family, how to create a family meeting and create a structure in your home. We have a guide. We have the guide. We have the guide on the strong-willed child. So we created a phrase flashcard last Tuesday, where you can have guide on how to lead your strong-willed child. And then we put it in a guide, right? Then we have a skills guide. The skills guide is the 13 skills your child must learn before they turn 13 and the way to teach them. That's the other guide that we also have. So all of these guides, the 6 of them, helps you go through to put in a structure. The more structure you put in your home, trust me, the more structure you put in your home, the more you are going to have less of this whole discipline brouhaha that we're talking about, right? So when we are looking at discipline, right, what are the range of children for this guide? Provided you have children, the media plan guide, you can have it for as young as 1. From the child, if you have a media plan in your home and the child is 1, you should actually begin to create a system that works. The discipline strategy guide that we're just launching today should start as soon as possible. We started using ours even when the children were born. I was telling someone recently that we had a media plan when the children were born, to the point that because I understood what extent of screen time, we've been sharing that book free in the group. So you could get a copy, the modalities. If we look at the system, of media plan, I realized that we didn't even allow our children were not on TV more than a certain number of hours, and then it was so regulated that we didn't put them in front of cartoons. So we had that plan even when they were less than one. So the earlier you start to build the plans and structures, the better for everyone, right? So today I was sharing about parenting plan in a post that I shared. I've had a parenting plan since day one, right? Even before the twins were born. So the more structure you put into your system of parenting, the more you are able to, get away from, get away from all the things that you're putting out. All right. So if you want to, okay, somebody is putting out a request. All right. Let me agree to this request. If you want all the guides today within 24 hours, instead of paying 6K, you get to pay 5K. All right. Instead of paying 10.5, you get to pay 5K. So if you take that offer, please, that offer is only for 24 hours. If you take that offer in 24 hours, then good and fine. That's only in 24 hours. So you can say all guides. When you put up all guides, you will get the account details to be able to get all the guides. Every other guide is ready, apart from the guide we're launching today. The Creating Discipline Strategy Guide launches today, and you have it right in your email on Friday. So when you make payment, please send the chat, your name, and all the your email as well to that phone number. That's my direct line. That's my direct official line, by the way. So that means you're going to be chatting, to me, right? So that's all you need to do. For the course, if you are putting up the course, if you want the course, you can just say course, and then we send you the modalities for you to go and take a look at the modules. We have about 10 modules that you are going to be watching on the course, and you are able to have access to all of them, and you are able to create, a lot of things, with them. So we have all of them. We have all of that. So you just put cost. So from now till Sunday, you get to pay 10,500 instead of 15,500 for that cost. That cost, you have express access. You can access that course at your time. That's the beauty of the academy that we run. Even if you are in a different time zone, you can run it at your time. Currently, we're running 3 courses currently in the academy, and every single one of them, I don't need to be there, right? I'm here having this lesson. Some people are, doing their courses on their own. So it's self-paced. That's one of the things that we've been able to do. It is self-paced, okay? So if you want, let me reiterate again. If you want the guide, right? Yes, the guide there, the screen time, yes, is included. Yes. No. The screen time is a free book we're offering. It's a free book we're offering, right? We made it free in the month of September. So no, the screen time is not a guide. It's not a guide. The media plan is the guide from the screen time. So you want any one of these guides, please just say what you want. All guides, the discipline guide. So that discipline guide is 1,000 naira in 24 hours. If you're getting all of them, you're paying 5,000 naira in 24 hours. After 24 hours, please don't pay. We will return your money. Please, I'm begging you. Please don't pay. All right? After 24 hours, don't pay. All right? So I don't know if we have any questions. Thank you so much, Dr. I appreciate. I don't know if we have any questions. If you want to check out the academy, somebody is asking me about the academy. It's www.theintentionalparentacademy.com. All right? So if you want discipline guide, say discipline guide. If you want all guides, say all guides. That's all you need to do. And the moment you do that, you are able to get access to whatever it is that you need. All right? So in conclusion, one thing that we must understand is that we need to deal with the subject of discipline right and learn how to discipline right. And also, so that we don't run a risk of continuing a circle. Because in the recent time, I've seen a circle, and then you hear things like, that's how it was done to me. That's how I know it. And I agree with you. I know that that's how we all know it. And the truth of the matter is that you need to understand that how we know it, a lot have changed. The way we are parenting today is no longer the way we're parenting. Somebody asked me, so we need to create all these structures in our parenting and all that. I said, yes. The person said, I said, do you know that pedophiles have curriculum, training curriculum to learn how to get on your child? And you're telling me that you don't need to learn? Come on. So there's a lot to learn. And if you're new, you're part of the people who have joined us, the 40,000 people on the intentional parent. If you're new here, just stay at it. Keep learning, and you'll see how structures will help you a lot in your journey. Be mindful of prejudice. That's also another thing. Be mindful of prejudice. It's very, very important that your parent disciplines the wrong way negatively. It's not an excuse to do the same. I grew up having my dad as a yeller. All right. I grew up. Yes. Okay. Yes. I grew up having my dad as a yeller. My mother was not a yeller. My dad didn't even hit you, but he would yell. So when I started parenting myself, I saw myself become a yeller. I created. So this thing that we have recently in the academy called the no yelling challenge. I created it for myself to run a challenge for me to begin to work on myself from yelling to calm. And that is the same thing that I teach parents today. The calmer you are on your journey, the more it is a lot more easier, right? That what if you have the guides already? If you have other guides already, just chat, just say just pay for the discipline guide, which is 1,000 naira in 24 hours, right? Thank you so much, Omogo. Omogo said I got value and I just joined today. Wow, thank you so much. Right? If you want to buy the discipline that works together with the guides, no, the discipline that works is 3,000 naira. The guides are already on a promo in 24 hours for 5,000 naira, so you get to pay 8,000 naira. The discipline that works is a hard copy book, except you want e-copy. But you can pick up anywhere you are in your location. You can also pick up in Accra, Ghana. And we have the pickup point there. You can also pick up in, I think that's Houston, either Austin or Houston in the US, right? And you can also buy on Amazon as well. So you can buy on Amazon as well. During the session, Ma, you mentioned that you had to learn teaching. Please, can you refer to references, materials, or classes you can attend to learn teaching? Aramide, send me a chat. I'm sure my number is public. Send me a chat. Yes, I had to learn to actually be able to teach. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm able to, see things, differently, because I understood that if I don't know how to teach, then I won't be able to teach and nobody will understand me, especially the children. All right? The children, I'm looking from Netherlands. Oh, all right. Can I have pick-up point in Port Harcourt? Yes, when you make payment for the book, all you need to do is to send me a chat. And you will get details of a pickup point in Port Harcourt. Have pickup points all over the nation. All over. So you don't need dispatch, you don't need dispatch. Yes, we have a pickup point in Owerri. I grew up in Owerri, Ngozi. So yes, you can even pick up from my parents. We have pickup points in Owerri. Yes, we do. All right. So send a chat, make payment, and send a chat to me. We will only send you pickup points chats after your payment. We have 12 pickup points in Lagos. 12 pickup points in Lagos. We have on the island. We have a lot on the mainland. All right. Somebody has a question. My question is, if the children are exposed to more screen time, does it have negative effect on them? What can you do to make them get interested in doing other things? You have my book on screen time. Okugwa Jennifer, reach out to me so that you can access my book on screen time, right? Reach out to me so you can access my book on screen time. Okay, so, all right, yes, Aramide, yes. So if you're in Lagos, we have a lot of pickup points. We have Ikeja, we have Oba, we have different places, Surulere. We have a lot of pickup points, right? Anywhere you are, Port Harcourt, Enugu, wherever it is that you are, we have you covered. All right, Ibadan, wherever, we have you covered. We have pickup points. All right. Funshaw, if you are in the group and you want access to the screen time book, we're giving it out free in the month of September to everybody who invites people to the group. So invite people, tag me, and send me a chat, and you get the book for free. Yes, and if you're buying all the guides, you're going to get the book for free as well. Okay? If you're buying any of the guides, you're going to get the book for free. Okay? All right? How do we get the screen time book? Precious, send me a chat. I'm watching from Sweden. Well done for you and Etima. Thank you so much, Idima Ezala. I appreciate you. My number, somebody's asking for my number. My number, let me write it so that you can see the comment. Right? My number is very public. You see it everywhere, right? So you can have made payment and send chat. All right, I'm going to respond as soon as we get off. All right. So I like to be able to handle things about payments and all that personally, so that we also be able to serve you a lot more better. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for being here. Please, which group is that, Coach? Oh, okay. We have a group on Facebook called the Intentional Parent. You're not part of us, you should join us. All right. Join us. It's called the Intentional Parent. We're already 40,000 people today. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. All right. If you make payment for any of the guys, I promise you, I'm giving you the book on screen time. Once you make payments for any of the guys, I promise you get a copy of the book on screen time. You can invite other people here as well and get a copy of the book on screen time as well. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we'll have a lot of new people, right? That joined today. I'm excited, right? I'm glad. So just note that every Tuesday at 2 p.m., we are here on different topics. But before Tuesday, I have a free masterclass that I promised the group when we hit 40,000. I'm preparing it and we're going to share it before Tuesday. We're looking at Friday, all right? We're looking at Friday, and I'm thinking that Friday we're going to deliver that class, as hot as it will look, all right? To get screen guide, any of the guide or any of the guides. Yes, once you can get the screen time book if you get any of the guides. Right? You pay for any of the guides, I will give you the book on screen time. Free. Yes. If you pay for any of the guides, I will give you this book on screen time. So we've run a challenge. Everybody who invited people into the group and tagged me have got a copy of that guide. All right? Invite other people and get a copy of the book. Yes. Right? Okay. Right? Yes, Bukola, that book is free for people in the yard. My yard people are the inner circle of the TIP. We call them the VIP parents, right? They are the parents who are on an annual journey with me, and they've been there. They're about 80-something parents. They've been there since January, and we've been working, together. It's been an awesome journey, but unfortunately, we don't have that class free in the now. We're going to open it again. We're going to open it again. That class, we're going to open it again in December so that you'll be able to join in. But that's by the way, right? Okay. So thank you, everybody. Right? So the moment you pay for any of the guide, if you want the discipline guide, just write discipline guide. If you want the guide on all the guides, you just say all guides. Remember, it's only in 24 hours that you pay 5,000 naira to get all the guides. After 24 hours, please, this offer is off. And after 24 hours, the discipline guide, you can't get it. You can't get it at 1,000 naira. You have to pay 2,000 naira, double the price to be able to get it. I think we have exhausted our time over and again. I'm doing this because I don't even have another class immediately. I think I have a class by 5. Right, so just chat and you get a response from us. Right? Chat the discipline guide or all guides. Remember, all guides, yes, the guides are e-copy. The guide are e-copy. How much is Connect to Correct? Connect to Correct is 3,000 naira. The discipline that works is 3,000 naira. Both books are in hard copies, and you can pick them up in Nigeria. Somebody said, I'm in Dubai. Sorry, I don't know how we're going to do it. You can do Amazon. If you're in Dubai, then you can do Amazon. So buy on Amazon and to be sent to you right in your location. Thank you. All the guides are e-copies. They are just guides, right? They are just guides. So what you need to do is to get out the guides and then print them out, and then also have worksheets that you can use to create these strategies that we're talking about. Thank you, everybody, again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. We're going to end now and then see you again in our class on Friday. Have an amazing day. You can catch replay of this session as we finish. So yes, you can catch replay right in the announcement session, or you can also catch replay, on our YouTube channel. So you can share this video with people to watch and also learn. Thank you again, and do have an amazing evening.